You think your neighbors are bad? Try having one who parks a motorcycle in your driveway, dumps trash by your door, lets their kids throw bricks at your house, and then claims your driveway is basically community property. But just wait until you hear how this ends. When we first moved into our new home, my daughter was only 2 months old. A fresh start, a quiet street, and hopefully a safe place to raise our baby. But almost immediately, the neighbors next door started showing their true colors. See, they didn't just use their own driveway, they decided ours was fair game too. A huge truck, a Jeep, and a motorcycle, all lined up right where our car should have been. At first I thought, okay, maybe they don't realize the house has new owners. Maybe once they see us, they'll stop. And for a minute, it looked like they did. Sort of. Because the man next door, let's call him Motorcycle Mike, still kept riding down our driveway like it was his personal racetrack. Sometimes he'd leave his motorcycle smack in the middle, but he was usually gone before my husband or I got home. No confrontation. Yet. But then, life threw me a curveball. My husband deployed, and not long after, I broke my leg. Suddenly, our car just sat there in the driveway, unmoving. And you know what that meant to Mike? Open season. One day I looked out the window and nearly screamed. His massive truck was parked in our driveway, and he was using it as his personal auto shop, swapping out his giant lifted tires like he owned the place. 3 whole months this went on. By the time I was finally strong enough to walk up the steps and confront him, I was terrified. I'm only 5'2", and this guy towered over me. Everything about his body language screamed danger. The way he moved, the way he carried himself, I got jailhouse vibes. Still, I had to try. I marched over, voice shaking, and said, "I need you to move your motorcycle off my driveway. This is not a shared space. It's private property." I hoped that would end it. Of course it didn't. But parking wasn't even the worst of it. Their condo unit sat above ours, and they left their trash cans right at the bottom of their steps. On our side, right by the driveway. And when I say trash, I don't mean neatly bagged. I mean overflowing, lids wide open, garbage spilling out, swarming with bugs. One summer afternoon, I came home with my baby girl in her car seat. As soon as I stepped out, we were attacked. Horror movie style. Mosquitoes, gnats, flies everywhere. I tried to run in, but by the time we made it through the door, both of us were covered in red, angry welts. I was furious and scared. So I did what any reasonable person would do. I contacted the property manager. There was even a sign with a phone number posted outside their place, so I texted it, sent photos of the trash, and explained what was happening. Big mistake. The manager was actually the landlord herself, and she was offended that I dared message her early on a weekend. Not only did she refuse to help, she told the neighbors about my complaint. From that day forward, I could feel the dirty looks every time I walked outside, even from the downstairs neighbors, who I'd never blamed in the first place. Now, I wasn't just the new mom on the block, I was the villain of the street. Summer rolled on, and things got worse. With my husband finally home, we noticed the upstairs kids out playing more. At first I had a soft spot for them. They were little and the street wasn't safe. I even thought about painting a hopscotch pad out front or setting up a little free library for them. But then came the driveway incident. I pulled in one day and nearly ran straight into them. A blind turn, tiny kids darting around. My heart dropped. When I got out, I gently told them, "Hey, sweeties, please don't play in the driveway. It's not safe." They looked bashful, nodded, and ran off. But the next day, it's like we'd flipped a switch. We became the neighborhood boogeyman. They started throwing toys at our windows, sitting on our porch at 10 p.m., creeping around the backyard like little ghosts. And then one day, egged on by their 14-year-old ringleader, they took a sledgehammer to a cinder block and hurled the pieces at our house. Of course, my husband wasn't home that night. I stormed outside and shouted, "Get off my property or I'm calling the cops." The eldest sneered and said, "Do it. What are they gonna do? We're kids. It's a driveway. Get over it." So I did call. The police came, told the neighbors where the property line was, and advised us to put up no trespassing signs. We did. Big, colorful ones. But guess what? Unless the kids were actively throwing bricks the moment cops arrived, nothing could be done. Civil case only, they said. Meanwhile, the harassment kept coming. The kids mocked our cameras, twerking, flipping them off. The dad revved his motorcycle inches at our car every other day. And then came the moment that broke me. I checked the cameras one afternoon and saw the kids throwing bricks again, but this time not at our house, at the downstairs neighbor's dog. That was it. I called animal control, showed them the footage, and they contacted the downstairs family. For once I thought maybe we'd found common ground. I even told the mom that her kid was the most polite of the bunch. She agreed to keep an eye out, and the rock throwing stopped, at least at the dog. But the war with the upstairs family was far from over. We decided the only way out was to build a fence. We scrimped, saved, bought the panels, and filed for a permit. We even had plans for solar lights and cedar stain, our dream fence, to finally reclaim our driveway. And that's when Motorcycle Mike made his biggest mistake. My husband was out doing yard work one day when Mike zoomed down our driveway on his motorcycle, narrowly missing him. This time, my husband didn't back down. Angry words flew. Mike finally revealed his logic. "It's a driveway. I'm not hurting it. My landlord screwed me over and made me share with my downstairs neighbors, so you should have to share yours." My husband laughed right in his face. "No, we've got our own solution." 3 hours later, Mike came home to find my husband installing fence posts. From their balcony, Mike and his wife whispered furiously, but loud enough for my husband to hear, "That fucker, that's probably not even the correct line." "It is," his wife muttered. "Well, it's not even that big of a deal." "Not a big deal." Oh, it was. Because once that gorgeous Gothic-style fence went up, with solar lights shining like a crown, it left them no space. No shortcut for the motorcycle, no room for their trash bins, nothing. Every time they looked out their window, they had to stare at our beautiful barrier. And honestly, that view made every miserable day worth it. So, in the end, it wasn't the police, or the landlord, or even a court case. It was a fence. A beautiful, petty, glorious fence. And now, every time the neighbors see those solar lights twinkling, they're reminded of just how badly they lost. Sometimes the best revenge is simply good landscaping.